Hey there, how's it going? It's your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and today I got a tip to share with you about training with progressive overload. Now, I'm sure if you're familiar with weight training and you're familiar with the whole process of making gains, then you know that you need to train with progressive overload, which simply means each workout you should strive to do better than you did for your previous workout. So getting an extra rep per set, adding weight to the bar, making some form of measurable progress so that you're actually forcing your muscles to perform a greater volume of work, a greater load than they did before in your last workout. And in the process of doing this, you're going to build bigger and stronger muscles. You know, it's a process. A bigger muscle is a stronger muscle and vice versa. So you need to focus on strength gains if you want to build size. Now, I was having this discussion on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle with one of our members. This one was with Cameron. And he's been doing this. He's been training with progressive overload and making some really good gains in his workouts. But one thing that I've noticed lately is when he's making increments in weights, he's making too big of a jump. And I'll just give you an example here. In his last chest workout, he was doing incline bench presses with 135 pounds. And then for his next chest workout, he upped the weight to 145 pounds. So he did 135 for 8 reps. And then the next day he did, or the next week, he did 145 and he only got 3 reps. And again, I compliment him on the effort and trying to push himself to train harder and to train with progressive overload, but he needs to be a little more conservative with the weight jumps. So rather than making these big 10-pound jumps, make 5-pound jumps. Those 2.5-pound weight plates that you see at the gym, those little tiny baby ones that most people don't want to touch, those are your best friends when it comes to training with progressive overload. So use those plates, take advantage of them, and your goal each workout should be to add those 2.5-pound plates onto the side of the bar for your big major lifts, your bench presses, your squats, your deadlifts, your rows, things like that. Try to make a 5-pound jump on a weekly basis. Now, in the short term, this is going to seem painfully slow. I mean, okay, you lifted 100 pounds last week, you're going to lift 105. It doesn't seem any different in the short term. It's just a painfully slow jump. But think of the long-term potential if you do this consistently. I mean, if you could add 5 pounds per week for 10 weeks, that's 50 pounds on a lift, which is huge. That is very good gains based on anybody's standards. So don't get caught up in thinking that you have to make big jumps at one time. Think of little tiny baby steps frequently. And that will be a better way to go because first off, you're going to remain, it's going to be easier to do, both physically and mentally, but you're going to help to remain injury-free because it's not that big of a jump or a strain on your body to make a 5-pound jump. I mean, if you can handle 100 pounds this week, then next week to go to 105 is not that big of a jump. You know, your body can handle it and it's not going to be a big shock to the system, or it's not going to cause you to strain or pop or pull or tear something. But if you tried to go overboard, like I see some people, okay, I lifted 100 pounds this week, I'm going to try to do 125 next week. That's a huge jump and it could very well pull, tear, or pop something. And that's why you very often see guys who are doing the battle of the bench press, you know, trying to increase their bench press too fast, basically. You know, they might do 185 this week, and then the next week they say, but by God, I'm going to go for 200. It's too big of a jump, and that's why you see people ending up with their shoulders messed up, you know, rotator cuff all strained and popped or torn, you know, straining or tearing a pec or whatever, is because they're trying to do too much too soon. Take your time. Pace yourself. You've got all the time in the world, right? We're going to be in this game for a long time. So strive for little baby 5-pound jumps in weight. Make those 2.5-pound plates at the gym your best friend. Stick a couple of them on the bar for your next workout and do little baby increments along the way. And before you know it, you'll be lifting bigger weights and remain injury-free in the process. So that's my tip for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, or anything at all, you know what to do. You post them in the comments below, and by golly, I'll talk to you down there. And stay tuned for my next video coming soon. Take care. Over and out.